Boom guys, listen, we're back, and today we're gonna go over a bit of lifting equipment. What not to use, what to use, when to use it. Do I really need this, right? That's a big question all people are asking, right? You need lifting belts, all this sort of stuff. I posted about this in my IG the other day. People seem to have questions. In this video, we're gonna be taking a look at various different stuff. Is it a gimmick? Is it not? So we have beginner, we have intermediate, and we have advanced. We also have a gimmick category for some stuff that is like, meh. Let's start right off. Lifting shoes, all right? These are personal favorite of mine. Pair right here is a pair of Adidas Adi Power. This and the belt, which we'll get back to, is something I bought like with my first paycheck. And I was a conscript in the military, right? First year, mandatory year, you get like $500 a month. I spent the $500 on this pair and this belt. Best purchase ever. So I've had these since 2016 and they're still great. The Adidas Adi Power and lifting shoe in general has an elevated heel, and this heel is completely stiff. There's no foaming thing like you have on a running shoe. It's completely stiff. Ow. What the lifting shoe basically does is that since it elevates your heels, it changes the angle that you especially squat at. And that helps you get enough depth when you're squatting. This is good, very good, because you can avoid a lot of injuries that happens when you go down into a squat and you don't really have the ability to go that low as you perhaps want to. These help with that, so you can squat safely. And what this also does, it's completely flat, this shoe, right? Completely flat. You basically get power transfer throughout the whole foot, and so it's much more easy than having to like stand on a plate with your bare feet, because that's like a hack a lot of people do. They put like a weighted plate on their heel and they're squatting with socks on or without socks if you're degenerate and like showing off your toesies at the gym. This gives you some more power transfer through your whole foot. You feel it instantly. You put this on and you go to squat, you have like power throughout the whole feet, and it transfers up through the legs, and you get stronger. With all this stuff that we have right here, a lot of people will be like, well, yeah, I don't need to use anything to lift. And it's like, okay, mister, I'm too good to use lifting equipment. It's not like you're on a moral high ground because you don't have to use lifting shoes. Listen, anyone should use this, right? This is just good to use lifting shoes. We're gonna rate these intermediate. It will help your squat. You'll have way better quality leg sessions and you'll get stronger. There's a ton of good lifting shoes out there, but I just like these. I'm gonna go through the belt because I love this belt. This is a lifting belt, and this is a Insur Forever belt. So lifting belts, it increases intra-abdominal pressure around your core, and with that, I'll use the example that every fitness influencer likes to use, right? So we'll use this. These are the fat grips, so I'll get back to those. But imagine this is a soda can, right? And you have a soda can. As soon as you do that, right, the thing on the soda can, it's easy to like break, and then it's fragile. You can bend it, right? But if you have that, don't open it. You can't really, pressure it and squeeze it out. This is a single prong belt. So single prong means that there's only one of these, right? Because you have belts with double, and then you have something called a lever belt too, where you have like, maybe you've seen this Larry wheels online. So you basically just close it like this, which is very, very good, right? I haven't used it that much. I've tried it. They've come a long way with the lever belts before. And with Insur's lever belts, as far as I know, you have to screw out the lever, so it's very personalized. So you can't like give it to your buddy because the lever might be too small, too big for them. With a single prong, right, is great. You don't need double prong. You can just get a single prong. This is a 10 millimeter, I believe. With this, you can adjust it easily. It has holes all over here. You want to measure your waist too before you're using a lifting belt. This is great. This is phenomenal. It's just so high quality. Take some time to break in the lifting belt, but what you do when you get it, it's like, maybe it might be completely stiff. You just take it like this and you just wrap it up and you just keep it like this. You might want to put something around it too so that it curves up. It'll shape nicely to your waist. Maybe I'll make a full tutorial on that, how to use a lifting belt. If you guys want to see that, comment down below. The Insur Forever belt. Insur, great band. You have SBD, great brand. I think Larry Wheels has kind of the same as SBD type of belts. In the beginning, you can use the belts at the gym. You don't need to invest in one yourself. The belt is an intermediate piece of lifting equipment. We'll move on to my next favorite piece of gear, which is the SBD knee sleeves. What knee sleeves does is basically, this is a neoprene sleeve that goes around the knee, and once you go down for a squat, this kind of bends and creates tension, and so it's easier to spring up. It also creates heat inside the ligaments, the joints, and so it's better if you're having issues with maybe warming up maybe with injury, it will take some load off. These are really great. So the SBD, there's millimeters to a knee sleeve too. I can't remember how thick this one is, but the SBD sleeve's really, really nice. Not sponsored, phenomenal stuff. You'll also see a lot of like gimmicky knee sleeves online. Maybe you've even seen this in the sports stores. Maybe you've even seen the ones that have like a hole for the knee. Those are more so for like injury stuff and not for like lifting. But it's nice, gets you warm, gets the knees going easily. You can also get for the elbow, if you're doing for the bench, right? Maybe if you're having elbow issues too, get some elbow sleeves. SBD has some too. I should be sponsored by these guys. These go in the intermediate class. It's not something you need as a beginner. So these are the lifting straps, right? Not lifting wraps. We'll get back to lifting wraps, but I see this wording and phrasing mixed in all the time. Oh, he's using lifting wraps, lifting straps. These are straps, right? So the way these works, right? You put it around a barbell, and what that does is it creates friction inside of this rope, right? Basically, just lift off the wrist right here. And it takes a lot of load for your wrist to just snap off, right? Hopefully that doesn't happen. Most likely it won't. It helps you lift heavier loads without relying on, without having to fail it with grip strength, which can be very good, right, if you're going for heavy deadlifts. And I see a lot of this online, people suggesting that you're using wraps for like back work. I'm not a big fan of that, and the reason for that is if you're trying to, you know, focus more on your back because your forearms are taking over when you're doing like back exercises, there's a reason for that. It's because you're weak. Your forearms are weak and they need to be trained. And so trying to use these as crutches for your back work in order to feel your back more, I don't advise you to do that. I'd rather have you like go and warm up and pre-exhaust the back muscles in order to feel the back better. And also, you know, you want, nice juicy forearms like this, right? Look. This will help you. Forearm strength is one of the biggest predictor of longevity. So much to get from like forearms and having strong forearms. It will help you with all the lifts. Every single lift will benefit from good forearm strength. If you want to go for like a super heavy row, you can try these out. So lifting straps, these also go in the intermediate category. Intermediate to advanced. Not something you need, but can be helpful if you want to go for those big PRs on a deadlift. These are wrist wraps. Wrist straps are for your wrists, right? Go figure. It's almost like we do for the Muay Thai, actually. What these do, right, is they kind of stiff up the wrist. So if you're having an energy leak, when you're doing bench and it's like, it's difficult, it's heavy, and your wrist starting to fall backwards, that's an energy leak because now you're not pushing through the barbell. You actually push, like, because the barbell will be here and you will be pushing here, right? So you're having an energy leak. If you can hold your wrist more or less straight under the bar, poof, you'll have much more power going through the bar itself. This will help for any sort of pressing. You can use these, dumbbell pressing, barbell pressing overhead, like a bench press. I will put these in the beginner to intermediate class, just because of the injury stuff that it can help with. So even if you're a beginner and you're struggling with stability, not that you should, use the crutches, but it's like if you want to go for a big lift and you're struggling with it, and it's like you have the power but the wrists are the only thing missing, you can get a pair of these. You can also just use duct tape, to be honest, even though it freaking hurts, right? And it's only one-time use because you have to wrap it up. But that's why these are so great, because you can wrap them up, you can wrap them out, you can wrap it up, easy, right? This is liquid chalk. Or you can also have dry form of chalk, but chalk in general is a very good thing to add to your gym. If your gym allows it, even if it doesn't allow it, go ahead and use chalk. What chalk is basically, is just, I think it's liquefied magnesium or something. And you take the chalk, right, and you put on a little bit. I use a lot. I put it on the barbells too, because if you want to squat, you can put it on the barbell and get more grip on your neck, on your back. You take some, you put it on. You can get it in between your fingers too, because that stops the energy leak in between your fingers. And this is what you end up with, right? This is not too much. There's different brands of this. Now this helps with grip, right? So if you ever climbed something and it's like sweaty and you're falling off, this eliminates that. And this is something I would recommend everyone to use. And the reason for that is because the grip strength is the only thing missing, and we're not handicapping ourselves by using something like a lifting strap, then that's not something we want to be handicapped by because we're sweaty, because our palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms spaghetti, right? That's not something we want to handicap. No, we want to handicap us. So when we're doing farmer's walk, when we're walking with weights, when we're doing deadlifts, right? Then we're using chalk. We're always using chalk. Every single lift you use, you probably should use chalk. There's no worse thing than slipping and doing this because you don't have chalk with you. It's cheap, it's super effective. Definitely get some liquid chalk. They have like dry chalk too. If you're at like a CrossFit gym, they usually have these big bowls, or like a High Rocks gym, big bowls of like dry chalk. What should we do with that? Let's pretend this is a chalk bit. You scoop your hands in the powder that's already there. You take one piece of it and you just rub it in, like the solid chalk where you actually want this, right? You want to do that all over, and that's how you use the solid chalk. But for this, the liquid chalk, just go ahead and get a bunch of it out there. Afterwards, you do it like this. There should be a big cloud. Makes you feel like a savage, right? You can even make like war stripes, like this, or the Saruman's. You know the Saruman from Lord of the Rings? You can put Saruman's army, bam, straight on your face, and become a warrior. That's chalk for you. Fat grips, right? You're probably wondering what this is. Fat grips, this is basically a rip-off that I bought. There's this brand called Fat Grips. They have different ones. I bought this like as a rip-off, cheap rip-off on a page. These go around the dumbbell. Around the dumbbell, go around the barbell. You put this on, you thread this on in here, shoop. And then basically, instead of lifting the thin like barbell or thin dumbbells, you're basically lifting these which are a bit more fat, right? It's like an axle press, an axle deadlift. These makes your forearms take more of the load, right? To put more pressure on the forearms because it's thicker, so you have to use more grip. And I think that's pretty much it, right? But it's always been marketed as, oh, you have weak forearms, you have skinny forearms, you can use these, and it's true. They're good, right? If you would like to want to work on the grips, then you can use the Fat Grips, that for sure. As far as use case for you guys, I would put this in a more advanced to gimmicky class, to be honest, because I wouldn't worry about this if I'm you. There's different ways to train your grip strength. You can just do farmer's walk all day, just up the intensity, up the volume, do more farmer's walk, instead of having to instead of buying some of these, and you don't really need them, right? That's the thing, you don't really need them. But they're definitely fun, they're fun to use, they're fun to try, and fun to play around with. So if you wanna go get some, you can go check them out, called Fat Grips. Other than that, there's tons of lifting equipment out there, maybe stuff that I didn't mention in here. You don't really need that much to just lift weights, right? It's just about picking stuff up and putting things down, right? Hopefully the stuff I mentioned in here was, helped you out. Maybe you've seen this online. There's a lot of gimmicks out there, and if there's anything I didn't, mention in this video, just put it down below in the comments. Maybe I'll make a video going over it, and maybe I'll comment and just respond and just tell you if you need it or not. Personal favorites of mine gotta be, if this was an S-class tier or something, lifting shoes and a lifting belt, right? This will get you far, seriously far. And also chalk, right? Chalk is goated. Gotta get some chalk in there. If you get all these, don't worry about the rest, right? Just get all these. You'll be an absolute maniac. So as long as you pass the beginner stages, except for this, get this regardless. But that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys want more like this, more, niche stuff on lifting like this, because everyone likes to talk about the best top 3 exercises for bicep, but you guys let me know, right? In the comments below. Hope you guys have a great day. Take care and God bless.